Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. So I have just realised today is Thursday, Monday is the 1st of April, which means the start of Camp NaNoWriMo, and I took part in it last year and I did complete it and I wanted to do it again this year, but didn't quite realise how close it was. I have done absolutely no preparation, but I'm determined to do it. I think last year I set a word count goal of 25,000 words and I did just barely make it, and that was working towards a writing project that I have with my best friend, whereas this year I think I'm going to set the goal of 20,000 words and work on one of my personal writing projects. I have one in mind in particular. I'm feeling really positive about it. I have already started it. And yeah, I wanted to start this video today, so I'm not actually going to do any writing until the 1st, but I want to set up like a calendar in my writing journal so I have some sort of way of tracking my progress with this. Just try and work out how many words I need to write per day, or how many days and how many breaks and stuff I can allow myself if I'm not really in a writing mood. A few days to go, but I'm going to get the prepping done today. So this is the calendar I've made in my writing journal. I think I'm just gonna document each day's word count as I write, just try and keep track of it. And then I'm also attending a writing club at a local Waterstones on the 10th, which I'm honestly really nervous for, but I'm going with Shannon, so I think that's a good thing to do, especially in the month of NaNoWriMo. It's April 1st, it is the start of Camp NaNoWriMo. It is now 2:15. So I'm getting a very late start to the day, but I forgot it was April 1st. I forgot that it started today. So I had a late start this morning, then we went to the shops, and then I had to film, edit and upload a video to go today. So I've only just finished all of that. So I've just logged on to the NaNoWriMo website. I'm going to try and write. I am going out in a couple of hours, so I want to have a look at the calendar that I've made and write down a list of goals in my writing journal and make some kind of progress today. I have definitely decided on the project that I'm going to focus on, and I mean, I've written quite a lot. I haven't yet actually checked my word count for starting, but I feel like if I really push myself, I could potentially finish my first draft of it this month, which seems daunting, seems scary, but I know it's doable if I push myself. I'm gonna set everything up online and I will talk a bit later on about the project that I'm gonna be working on. Okay, so I have set my goal. I've worked out my daily word count. If I write every single day, I need to write 667 words per day, which sounds doable, but I also know there are going to be days when I'm not going to feel like writing, but there are also going to be days where I'm going to write over that. So hopefully it should even out and I should be able to make it. My starting word count for project CD is 6,766, and I honestly thought I have more words than that down, but I have got the majority of this book planned out. I don't think I have any chapters which are completely written, but I have all of the chapters planned out with a synopsis of what I want to happen in each chapter. So some of them I'm going to be completely starting just from the synopsis, and others will be adding to and editing what I already have down. I took part in Camp NaNoWriMo last year, and I didn't set my goal as one particular project. I just wanted to write a set amount of words across any of my projects, and I think that's where I've been going wrong. I hit the goal, but I didn't actually finish a draft because I was working on so many different things. So this time I'm working on one specific. However, chances are I am going to work on my other project, Elemental Rain, because like I said at the start of this video, on the 10th I'm going to a fantasy writing club, and Project CD is not a fantasy book, whereas Elemental Rain is. I'm writing that with my friend and we are going together. So I know that that writing club is going to give me motivation, which means I'm probably going to write some more of Elemental Rain. So I'm going to allow myself a little bit of leniency. I'm going to try and get 20,000 words of Project CD. However, if it gets to mid-month, and this may be cheating, but if it gets to mid-month and I'm struggling and I'm more motivated for Elemental Rain, any words I write towards that, I am still going to count towards the Camp NaNoWriMo goal of 20,000 words, because it's not this one specific project, but it's still writing progress towards a writing project. Anyway, Project CD. I've never spoken about any of my projects other than Elemental Rain. I'm really nervous to share about the things I'm working on myself. I don't really know how much to give away, but the basics: Project CD. The title of the book I don't actually have yet. CD stands for the setting of the story. This is going to be a workplace romance. It's kind of forbidden because it's like boss and employee. This is kind of based off a real life experience that I've had, not the employee boss thing. Never experienced that. But the workplace is based off a workplace that I worked in before, because I had this idea, and the characters, like, none of this is inspired by anyone. It is a story that I could write because I think the romance in this could be realistic, and because I have worked in this setting, I feel like I can make it very realistic and very real to the readers, because it's something I know and have experience of. And I think the reason I've been nervous to talk about this is because I feel like if people I know read this, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, and think it's like based off me or someone I know, and like it's not. And like the setting itself isn't based on the exact place I worked on, it's based in the same industry. And like when I picture this workplace in my mind, it looks absolutely nothing like the place I worked at. And yeah, I just feel like the personal connection of the workplace is going to make this easy to write. They're going to have very opposite backgrounds, and this is going to have no spice in it because I don't feel comfortable writing spice. And I did a video on TikTok, I think I mentioned it in a previous writing diaries video, but I did a question on TikTok on whether books need spice to be good, and the majority of people said no, and a lot of people say they actually prefer non-spice. So I might do like a fade to black where I might insinuate that things are going to happen, but it's not actually going to happen on page. So no spice in this. Yeah, that's just like a few little details. As I go on, I might talk about like the characters' names and a little bit more about them. But yeah, I'm starting at 6,766 words, so if I complete it, my total word count at the end will be 26,766. Today I'm not feeling motivated to write, and I'm annoyed about that because, you know, you should get off on the right foot and write. I think I'm going to try. I think I have gone over the first chapter, like it's not finished, but I reread that and edited that multiple times, so I think I might look at a chapter that I haven't actually started and just have the synopsis for and see if I can get some inspiration towards that, because I really don't want to be writing for the sake of writing this time, because I just end up writing words to hit the word count goal and then end up deleting them a few days later because I'm not happy with it. I'm actually really proud of myself. It is now 3:45, so it's been about an hour and a half, and I have actually managed to write. So I wrote 1,022 words, so my new current word count is 7,788, which equates to 5.11% of my goal written today. So considering I didn't think I was going to write anything, the fact I have written 1,000 words, which is more than my daily word count anyway, is a great start. I'm really proud of myself. When I first started writing, I was reading over some of the very first bits I wrote, and the doubt started to trickle in, and I was thinking, is this really boring? Like, is anyone ever going to want to read this? But then I remembered, this is the first draft. Like, so much of this could change between now and it being done, and if I do ever publish this. And then the more I got down and the more I started working on some other scenes that I hadn't yet worked on, I felt like the spark come back, and I've started to like make some more notes. I've thought of another potential chapter that I could add in, as I feel like it's quite fast paced, and at the minute I have like a bit of a jump between two kind of big things happening, but there's nothing that really happens in between them, and I feel like people might read that and be like, whoa, that doesn't make sense that happens so quickly. So I've got some ideas for some filler chapters as well, but I'm gonna end it for today. I've made good progress, I made a good start. It's the next day and I wasn't actually going to write anything again today, as I wasn't really in the mood. As I went out this morning, I went on a walk and then I went to Costco, but I came back and I've written just over 400 words, so I haven't hit my daily word count goal for today, but I overdid it yesterday, so I'm hoping over the two it's going to equate to have hitting it over both days. I haven't yet added up my total word count, but 2 days in and I've managed to write both days, so it's a good start. Please ignore the mess behind me, I'm having a bit of a sort out. Today is Thursday the 4th. I didn't update yesterday. I wrote 453 words, so the last 2 days I haven't hit the word count goal, but I haven't sat and wrote anything for a couple of weeks, so the fact I've written something for 3 days in a row, like, that's still a win. Although I have just like hit a wall, because I like this project, I believe in this project, but as I'm writing it, I've been coming up with like new tropes that I can put in, and like I'm getting more ideas now. I'm just sitting and focusing on this one, but it's just feeling a bit boring to me. Like, it has tropes that I think people will like the characters I think are likable, the setting I think you can like really imagine in your head, but I just feel like the story is boring. And I said I wasn't going to work on other projects, but I'm literally just sat thinking about all of the other projects that seem more exciting to me, and I honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna spend 30 days working on this one project. I don't want to say like I'm bored of it, because like I feel like it does have potential and I feel like people would like it, but I'm just not feeling like the passion for it, and I don't know what to do. Like, I want to take part in Camp NaNoWriMo, but I feel like if I go back to what I did last year, where I just wrote for any project, I'm not going to make any progress at all. So do I change project to focus on? But then am I still going to have the same thing where I'm just focusing on one? I'm going to get like bored of it. And I feel that it sounds really bad me saying like I'm bored of my project, because like if I'm bored of it as a writer, why would anyone want to read it? But I don't know, like I'm not in love with it, and I don't want to just like stop writing this project. Like, I really thought this was going to be like I think if I ever publish anything, the first thing that will be published will be the book I'm writing with my best friend, because we are like so close to that. But I always thought that like this project, if I ever like published anything by myself, this was going to be the first one. But I just have this one other project in my mind, and it's completely different. It's a paranormal book, and I haven't really started it. Like, I've kind of plotted bits out, and like the mood I'm in right now, I just want to focus on that instead. But I know I should focus on this, but I feel if I focus on this and I'm not in the mood to write it, like I'm just going to write stuff for the sake of writing it, and it's not going to be the project I want, and I'm going to spend more time later on going back, deleting, rewriting everything, when maybe I should just put this one aside and maybe try the other one. This is the problem with having so many ideas that you like want to write in your head. Like, I literally cannot sit and focus on one. So if you do Camp NaNoWriMo and you only focus on one project, or if you only write one project at a time, like how do you do that? Because I just sit and think about all the other ideas I have and want to, whatever I'm working on, I want to work on something else. Like, I know if I switch projects, this one will be back in my mind, and I don't know what to do. And like the last 2 days I have been completely unmotivated to write, but I did it anyway, and I got like 800 words out the last 2 days. So again, today I was like, I might just take a break because I'm not loving this, but I'm already like behind on the word count goal, and
I took into account that like I could have break days, but I feel bad taking a break day on day 4. I don't know what to do. I think I might take a break from this project, and I feel really bad giving up after 3 days, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna like revisit it in a few days. I think maybe if I just take a day off from this one, and then maybe I do focus on this paranormal one that I can't stop thinking about, because that's like a complete fresh slate, and I think I've written maybe like 400 words towards it, so like maybe that's a better project for this month, because it's like basically starting fresh. It sucks because times like this I really think like is writing really for me, and one of my goals has always been I've wanted to publish a book like ever since I was a kid, and I've always written stories since I was a kid, and I'm just like stuck in this mindset right now that like maybe it's not for me, and that sucks because this is like my dream. I just feel like I'm in such a slump right now, and obviously like the goal is to be published, and I'm not expecting to be like in bookstores, but the goal is just to maybe like have a book and publish it on like Kindle, and then I could buy a copy through Amazon, even if I'm the only one that buys one. Like my goal is just to have my own book printed off in a physical copy on my shelf. I don't know what to do, and I feel like a failure. So it's Saturday and I still haven't written anything since I last updated you, and I feel like a complete failure, and I was debating on whether or not I'm even going to post this vlog, but I think I'm still going to, because I feel that it's still very real, that writing slumps and lack of motivation, you know, they're very real, and because I've skipped so many days, I feel it is going to be very unlikely that I am going to complete my goal of 20,000 words, but I do still want to use Camp NaNoWriMo as a reason to write this month. So even if I don't reach the word goal, I'm just still going to try and stay motivated. And I was thinking about the paranormal one last night, and I came up with a few more ideas for it. I also feel that what I'm currently reading is influencing me and what I want to write. So I'm currently on a reread of Zodiac Academy, and because of that, that's I think why I'm motivated to write this paranormal book at the minute instead of like the romance one, because I'm so immersed in that world. It's inspiring me for the one that I've created. So I don't know, maybe that is why I can't seem to want to focus on that one project. But yeah, I am going to try and write a bit more this afternoon. Like I've come into my library room, I've got my laptop here, and I am going to try and write a little bit more. I don't know what project it's going to be on, or whether I'm just going to do some planning, but I want to work on something today, because I already know that I'm probably going to fail Camp NaNoWriMo, but I'm trying not to think of it as a failure. I'm still thinking it as a positive, because any day I write and any time spent writing is still progress. I'm trying to look at it that way. Writing 714 words towards the project, so I ended up working on the paranormal one because I just like had a spurt of ideas. I was writing some questions for myself in the notebook for things that I think could be potential plot holes, or things that I really need to have an answer to before I get too far into the book, so I don't have to be questioning then and rewrite a load of stuff. So thinking through some of those questions gave me some ideas. So I have a couple of different ideas in which direction the story could go. So I wasn't gonna have a prologue for this, but I had an idea for a prologue that I think is definitely really going to build up the atmosphere and just be able to get you to understand the story a bit more, because one worry with this particular project was that it wasn't really going to make sense. So I think adding in a prologue is definitely going to help. So I haven't written the whole thing, I've just kind of drafted it, but 667 words was my daily word count. So to write 714, I have done over my daily count, which is great considering I was gonna just completely write this week off as failing. So I think I'm gonna end week 1 vlog here, even though technically it ends tomorrow. Yeah, this video is really long already and I haven't really made a ton of progress. I do plan to vlog week 2 because I am going to a writing class, which I'm nervous for, but I would like to share some of the things that I learn, and then depending on how I get on the start of next week and with that class depends on whether I do continue with Camp NaNoWriMo. I want to, but I don't want to put that pressure on myself, so we'll see. There's definitely going to be a week 2, but depending on progress depends on whether I'm going to carry on for the full month. But yeah, if you got to the end, thank you for watching. I would really appreciate any advice that any of you may have to keep up the motivation, and good luck to everyone else who is taking part. I hope you reach your goals. I hope you had a successful first week.